What's going on YouTube?
Washington.
This is Martin for here once again.
I've been gone for too long, but now I'm back with the jump off, bitch. Yes, God. Don't y'all miss me? I miss being here. It feels good to be back. Gotta shake it off and get back into the groove into shit, because I've been in motherfucking quarantine for the past however long it's been, baby. But, you know, we're gonna try to get this thing back rolling now, because I may have been away. Oh, but bitch, I've been watching. Oh, yes, I've been watching this Miss American Horror Story. Somebody left it in the comments that, you know, they missed my American Horror Story talking about it, and, you know, to still watch it because I was going to be here for it. I sure was, because I never stopped watching this shit. And these last couple of episodes, babe, that whole Edward Mordrake shit, the only thing, you know, that I'm going to really go back and really go over again is the fact that, okay, one, I want to quickly talk about when they were doing Elsa's backstory of when she was a dominatrix and the bitch had dudes walking on all fours and had one dude sit at that, on that toilet with the nails, and then he gonna sit on it and you could hear the flesh being pierced by the nails, and he gonna sit there look at her and say thank you. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you how the times have not changed, because you still have those people who are interested and into all of that to this day. And I couldn't. I ain't with that. I ain't with the masks. I ain't with the pain, the bondages, the handcuffs, all of that. Y'all, I mean, I don't know if that's being prude or whatever you want to call it, but bitch, no. And then the whole two-faced dude, girl, what was it? I just had it in my mind. What was I gonna say about it? Oh, the backstory of the clown. Oh, I thought the clown was gonna be in this whole series, and he was gonna come together with the freaks, and they was gonna do some shit. I didn't know how they was going to interact this whole clown into this shit. But we saw his whole backstory. Lord have mercy. He had to tell his backstory with his lower jaw missing, his tongue flippity-flappity everywhere. I don't know how he was able to make words. I honestly think that Edward Mordrake was like allowing us to hear his mind, because I'm pretty sure he wasn't making coherent sentences with his jaw doing all of this going on right here. It was really sad. He was like, la, 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 la. Yeah. I was like, oh Lord, just put the mask back on, because please put this shit back on. Anyways, the poor clown was slow, y'all, and then all the little midgets from back in the day was fucking with him, and they made him turn him crazy. So I kind of actually felt bad for the psychotic killer clown. I did. They made me feel something for him. But anyway, that's just a quick recap on the shit that I can really just wait. No, yeah, that's the. Did I just say no and then yeah, girl, get together? That's what I wanted to, that I could really remember from the past, you know, a couple episodes that I didn't do that really stood out. So now we here today, and we start off, and the old dandy is just. You know what? I have never seen such a character that just makes me find a new reason to dislike them every single week. Not like a rehashed same reason, but a whole new reason for me not to like your ass. First, last week he didn't kill Patty. Now, I have to say, Patty, you had that coming. Why do I say that? It's because she said she's raised him since a boy, okay? So, you know, he's probably doesn't have all the screws in his head. And if somebody that I know doesn't have all the screws in their head, and they are reproaching me with knives and sharp objects, I'm not going to think that you bullshitting. Or at least I'm not going to antagonize you and you know, make you feel or get more lived up. I ain't finna do shit. No, Patty, you crazy as hell. I mean, you probably figured she's never done something before, but hell, Look, I don't put it past nobody, bitch. I don't put it past nobody. If you're coming up trying to play with some damn sharp objects, I'm gonna pretend like this shit is real. I'm gonna pretend like my life is in danger for real. But shit, Patty thought that this shit was a game and got her throat sliced. I just felt like she had that shit covered. I'm like, bitch, you antagonized this crazy motherfucker with this mask, girl. No. So, but you know, it's sad. I know I hated to see Patty go so soon. I was hoping she was going to be more vital to the series instead of just a maid, but whatever. So the mother comes down from the, from downstairs. She was like, Dora, I don't hear the percolator running, or whatever the fuck she was saying. And she walks into that shit and sees that bitch dead to the motherfucking bed, and she was just, screaming in horror and this, that, and the fourth. But then I'm like, and then here come Daddy trying to play it off. Oh my God, somebody broke in our house and killed Dora. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Girl, Mom wasn't here for that shit. She just looked at him and was like, what did she say? Like, I can't believe you did this. Or how can you, something crazy. And then this is the shit that threw me. So you just see your maid dead. I understand it's 1952. She's black. She probably doesn't have, the most value to society, or at least by society's means at this particular time period. But if your son just killed your maid, that I assume you cared something about, you tell him, I don't want to see you for the rest of the day. You say that like this bitch just broke a glass or something, or fucking said a bad word. This man just committed fucking murder, and you're gonna sit here and give him a slap on the wrist and say, I don't want to see you for the rest of the day? How about calling the motherfucking police saying I'm living with a fucking murderer? But I think she knows this. I think this isn't the first time. Well, maybe, no, it is the first time, because I don't think he's ever done nothing like this before, but she's know that he's kind of crazy. But anyways, y'all, that was ridiculous. I really was just so into the show initially that I forgot to take notes for the most part. So I just kind of tried to recollect from what I could really remember. So if I skip something, leave it in the comments, and I'll respond to it. But baby, Jimmy's out there rehearsing, and Esmeralda or Spalding, whatever her name is, comes over and, tries to give him encouraging words, because basically, dude that she's been partners with is trying to kill whoever he can to get some money for their parts at the little museum thing. And he's giving his whole plan and shit, and, she ain't really with the whole murder thing, and she's kind of, even though she, is supposed to separate her feelings, be the person on the inside and help him kill and get this money and whatever, she's starting to get feelings and feels like this is wrong and blah, blah, blah. So she basically tries to give like a fake reading to Jimmy, saying that there's somebody that's going to come and try to tell you something and, make sure you don't listen to him and blah, blah, blah. Pretty much talking about her partner. So she's going to eventually sell her partner out. So anyway, Jimmy, tries to make a move on her, and she kind of backs away like, no, I'm trying not to get involved like that. And he's like, oh, well, I was an idiot from making myself believe I could have a chance with a girl like you and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, oh, Jimmy. Jimmy just can't never win. Had the whole Meep situation and don't even know his daddy is here. Just fucking him up and got daddy issues. Mom about to die. It's just the whole thing. Most of the shit he's not even aware of, Lord. Bless his soul. So anyway, he goes in, they're trying to get this show started, and he's looking for the strong man because can't nobody find him. He goes to the trailer, sees Desiree, a.k.a. Angela Bassett, in there drunk, getting drunk because she's sad and shit. And, basically he's like, we don't know where the strong man is. He's like, y'all don't know him. He helped me do this, that, and the fourth, but he's not paying me no attention and blah, blah, blah. And so she's weak and vulnerable. He just got turned down by a girl. So they just start going at it. And she's like, make me feel something, Jimmy. Make me feel something. Because, remember last time. Oh, I did not talk about that from the other episode. Girl, bye. Miss Angela Bassett was down there putting in work on that dick, y'all. She was out there rubbing down. And dude was just flaccid as fuck. He was like, "Oh, it's the cold. I'm working too hard." And suddenly she was like, "You know what? Fuck this. It's some old bullshit. Every time it's always something. Hell, I get more pleasure from a doorknob." I was like, "Ooh, girl." And of course, you know, male ego being bruised. He gets mad and shit and confronts her, and she's like, "If you touch me, you'll never see me again," and all this other shit. I forgot all about that. I was like, oh my god. I'm mad that they showed it. Like, her hand was all in the crotchmas area. But, so they said, make me feel something. So they doing the ditty, and you know, of course, Jimmy with his pussy fingers gonna slip the webbed hand up her vag. And, you know, after a while, she starts, stop, stop, stop. And she starts bleeding. I'm like, oh, hell. He done fucked up her insides. So, she walk in and bloody and shit. She walk in and bloody and shit, and they take her to help her and all this shit to go to the doctor. Homegirl goes to the doctor, and she's kind of scared because she ain't never been to the doctor before. And we learn a little history about her when the doctor comes in. Because, you know, she's about to take a look at, you know, a dick and a vagina, you know, the big hermaphrodite. Turns out she was giving a little story. She was like, you know, when I was born, you know, they thought I was a boy. Uh-oh. The fuck? I was hearing some weird shit. But anyway, she thought he was a boy. And her name was Derek. And, you know, they thought she was just like a regular boy until around 12 when she started growing 3 titties. That must have been a surprise for their parents. Can you imagine? In a black house, too? Girl. Anyway. Thought you had a boy for 11 years, and they start... Not only do they start growing breasts, but they're 3 breasts. 3. A third in the middle, right here. Woo! Anyways. So, the doctor says, well, it turns out that that's actually not a penis that you have there, but an oversized... Or excess skin or large clitoris. So you're pretty much 100% woman. And so she was like, you know, she was getting excited. And then the doctor was like, well, as far as the blood you had, you know, she was trying to ask, like, do you have periods? She said twice a year and shit. I'm like, girl, if that's not irregular, I don't know what is. But he was saying that wasn't a period, but that was actually a miscarriage. He's saying she was like 12 weeks pregnant or something. I'm like, she didn't even know? Maybe not. But she, so she just had a little miscarriage. And, is there anything else I want to say from this? No, I think that was it. So we moved from there, and here we go to Dandy. Dandy's working out in his tidy whities. Look pretty good. I ain't even gonna lie. But he was working out, saying he's going to be the best actor. He started talking about the best killer the next minute. And I'm just like, what? And, you know, he's like, my mom never let me do this. And all this other shit. And it's just weird. And then next thing we know, we go, look, this is where the episode starts to go all over the place. And this is where we start seeing, I'm guessing, flashbacks of the guy who's trying to get, like, kill all the freaks and stuff. We see him at this exhibit showing off all the dead bodies. Like, we see the little man with the small hands. And then we see the twins' heads cut off and shit. And he's talking to the lady. He's like, well, how did they die? And so we see him going back to he's trying to take the girls to some picnic or whatever, and tries to offer them cupcakes. Now, I don't know if he was dreaming in one and one really happened. I think that is what happened. But he's trying to offer them the cupcakes, and of course he offers it to the dumbhead. And she's like, oh, cupcakes, ooh. So she starts eating that while the other bitch is looking at this shit like, something ain't right. The dumbhead, I mean, the head that's always kind of pissed off would be more so be me, because she's looking at shit, observing shit that the other bitch just refuses to acknowledge. That would be me. But she eats up eating the cupcake anyway, and she starts coughing, and she gonna look at her and be like, that's what you get for being gluttonous. Bitch, she took one bite of the cupcake. Girl, that ain't nobody's glutton. But anyway, she started foaming at the mouth and shit and start dying, and I don't know if blood was running from her mouth. I don't know. It was weird and strange. And so they go back to the damn room where I guess that's where the guy who gave him the cupcakes was staying or whatever. She was laying in the bed, and the dumbhead was just dead. Like her body was that, or her head, whatever you would use, was decaying, and Dot was just sitting there crying like, talk to me, you know, please, for God's sakes, come back up. See, now, I don't even want to hear all this shit right now, Dot. I don't even want to hear all that shit, because just an episode or two ago, you was having a wonderful dream about her getting that head cut off, and you said, I'm going to save my money and get this operation done. So I ain't even trying to hear all these tears and shit about, oh, now she dead. No, this is what you wanted, and now you got it, bitch. Don't be mad. This is exactly what you asked for her. But, you know, lo and behold, you know, that didn't really happen. It was just like I guess a dream of the guy or whatever. So the real thing happened is that he offered them the cupcakes that he did poison. And she said, and Dot ended up stopping her and be like, no, if we're going to be TV personalities, then we have to wash our figure and whatnot. Because he's trying to play this damn, like he's selling them a TV show. First he tried to sell it to Elsa, but baby, Elsa went out on that show, and she thought she was about to serve the girls a full-on show, like she was just about to slay them down. She slayed them all right. Baby, she came up there, started singing that song from the first episode. I was like, shit, if you're going to repeat songs, you should have did the one you did last week with the Lana Del Rey song. Not that Life on Mars song, because she got out there, she saw that crowd was like, not here for it, throwing popcorn and everything else, and so she just gagged, and I was like, oh, well, I guess you won't be on that high horse no more, now will you? Ooh, Elsa flopped, girl. And let's see, what else did I want to do? I feel like there was something else I wanted to mention about that, but I can't remember. So I don't know what it was Elsa thought happened for real. So the guy came back in her room, and I don't know what he said to her, but he had her thinking that she was about to get her own TV show and whatnot, and she was getting dolled up. She was getting her hair curled, crimped, nails done, everything, walking out the tent in her best regalia, and thought she was about to get in the car and go to some shoot with the dude, and it turns out that he had the twins in the car, and I think that's when it went to that whole cupcake scene. So Elsa gagged, thought she was about to become the big star, and she got the damn twins. Even though that's not really the case, you know, he's just trying to find any and anybody to try to, you know, he's just trying to get to the twins anyway. But she thought, she was like, they're going to make them big stars. Oh, baby, just, I felt bad for her. She got in her best outfit, thought she was about to go somewhere. Psh, girl, no. So, this was probably the biggest gag of the episode. So, the damn dandy, the crazy motherfucker, is trying to be some killer. He goes into the gay bar. Why a gay bar? I don't know. But he's strolling in there. Who the fuck does he bump into, y'all? This man bumps into the fucking strongman. And the strongman is here with his little boy toy, angry that he's doing all this, I guess, male prostitution or whatever. And he is angry, giving that whole spiel about, I'm going to leave my wife, and we going to be together, and I ain't going to let you be here with these men no more. I don't like it, and blah, blah, blah. Girl, bye. That's why you don't be with people who are already in relationships, because they ain't going to never leave you they ain't going to never leave their wife for you, because it's just not going to happen. Just understand that it ain't going to happen. He ain't going to leave his comfort or his beer, the thing that's keeping him looking normal in society, to be hanging around trying to hide with you. It ain't gonna happen. Not in the 1950s. You may be able to get away with that now, you know, gays being more publicized slowly but surely, but in the 1950s, not at all. And he leaves. And here comes Dandy coming up, and I'm like, oh, hell. Is Dandy about to be gay too? Is he about to be up in here killing people, killing the gays? So like, what's really about to happen? What's the point of bringing Dandy up in here? So the guy, he pulls up to the guy that Dandy pulls up to the guy the strong man was just talking to, and was like, you know, what do you want? And Dandy's like, what do you mean? He was like, well, it's like $1. It's like $1 to talk, $5 to dance, $20 to, you know, to take me home and fuck. I'm like, you have really low prices. I guess, you know, the economy isn't that bad where you need to charge for something like that for real. But $20 to fuck? I mean, usually nowadays for prostitution, hell, it's like what they do in the movies. Like when I see web series or anything else with prostitution, usually it'd be like $20 just for a fucking hand job. So talk about inflation. And so it's he was saying $20 to take him home and fuck. So I was like, well, okay, what's about to happen here? So where am I? Let me make sure I don't miss nothing. Okay, so let's just go ahead and go to when the guy come home. Now let me tell you, the little gay guy, your antenna should have went off. If somebody that didn't even know what was even going on in the gay bar is gonna take me to the fucking woods in the dark to some dark ass, I don't know. It just seems like even if he done paid me, because he said he paid him like $100 to fuck. I'm like, I ain't finna be going in no little ass in some, what is that? A cart? Whatever that clown was carrying around in the middle of the damn woods at night. But he went in there anyway and was like, so this is where you about to fuck, this is where you're about to fuck at? Okay. And then he was like, when he was about to start touching, he was like, no, I'm not a fruit. I was like, really? Really, producers? I know you're trying to be authentic with it being the 1950s, but fruit? I don't know. I felt offended by that. I'm like, really? You're going to make him call him a fruit? Anyways, so he's like, let's do this. Let's, you turn around. We'll both take our clothes off, and we'll turn around on the count of 3, and whatever magic happens, happens. I'm like, oh, hell. On one end, I can't lie, I was kind of excited because, you know, they're both very attractive men, even though they're both stupid and one is just downright crazy. But, you know, yeah. So, they both get, you know, down to their little undies. I swear I guess they got the same underwear from the same pack. But he turns around and I'm just like, oh, you don't even know what's coming to you, bitch. He turns around and stabs him and just starts stabbing him repeatedly, over and over and over again. So, and then now he starts thinking to his mind, like, okay, one of the first rules of the killer is to eliminate all the evidence. He's like, first you start with the limbs. And I guess he had made some acid in a bathtub and was burning the limbs. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to go off onto such a random tangent. I don't know how many of you guys watched the Breaking Bad series, but when they was burning, when Jesse tried to burn them people in his bathtub, that acid seeped right through the bathtub, and so I'm just trying to figure out how is this able to not work in 2000? Well, I guess when I was 8, and now it works in 1952 at bathtub. I didn't understand that, but that's neither here nor there. So as he puts one arm in the thing, comes back for the rest of the bodies. Turns out, oh, dude's still alive. And he's like, why aren't you dead? Like, stop looking at me or stop living. You're making me feel bad. I'm like, motherfucker, now you're feeling bad after you done stabbed me repeatedly and you done put my damn arm in the motherfucking acid burner and you about to sit here with this machete blade at my fucking shoulder and now you want to feel bad? Bitch, girl, ooh. I swear, Dandy is a piece of work. I have never seen a character like him in any series ever. Anyway, so that whole shit happened. Where are we at, girl? So he's dead. Angela Bassett comes and reads her husband talk about you're Jimmy's father, and you know I'm about to get this operation done, and I'm gonna be too much woman for you to handle, and I'm gonna go live with a bearded lady, and blah blah blah. And the strong man wasn't too happy about that. So he goes and pays the doctor a visit, and long story short, breaks the doctor's hands. It was so cringeworthy, and says basically, you ain't gonna be doing no operations up in here. And should you see anything to Elsa, the bearded lady, or
It's 2 o'clock.
I'm not acknowledging her. If you say anything to anybody, basically, I'm gonna come after your grandbabies and I'm gonna kill them. I'm gonna break the little arms and hands just like Twig, just like I broke yours. Fuck with me, bitch. uh, where we at? And so Elsa, in what I assume, what I thought was her delusion, after she gagged that she thought she was about to get to some TV show and they picked the twins, she goes into the twins' locker room and was like, and tries to say, oh, who was it? I think it was Bet was trying to ask, like, oh, are you going to be a guest on our TV show? She was like, no, he actually offered me a TV show as well and asked me to mentor you guys. And, actually I set up a special fitting for you guys in the morning. Make sure you get some rest and whatnot and blah, blah, blah. Dot, once again, was me and was like, I don't trust this bitch. She is angling for something. And indeed she was. Next day, she went and they was riding out of town, and Bet was like, I thought we were going to a fitting somewhere downtown, and then and Elsa was like, oh, I have an even better idea, and I'm just like, girl, that's how you know. I didn't know what fucking plan this bitch was concocting, but bitch, guess God. So they drive, and we gonna come back to them in a second, and then a homegirl, they burying Dora, which is Patti LaBelle's character, in the damn dirt and shit, and laying out buds, saying, oh, this is gonna be beautiful when her body decapitates and all this shit. They talk about how we guess they learned that they fucking incestual and they fucking each other to keep the blood pure and shit. This mama and her son, and Patty was the only person that, well, no, I can't even say Patty had some sense because that's the reason why she dead. But, yeah, so she gets a phone call from Queenie, or Gabourey Sidibe, who used to be Queenie from last season, The Coven, or Precious, if that's, y'all don't know her name. I was wondering what she's going to be in this series. I hope we get to see her again. But anyway, she's supposed to be Dora's daughter, or Patti LaBelle character's daughter, out away at Bible school and whatnot, or whatever she was saying she was at. And she was like, well, Mom usually calls me every day, and she didn't call me the other day. Like, is she okay? And the mom was sitting there having like a mini panic attack. Like, oh, yeah, she's fine. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's fine. Mm-hmm. She's just over here doing some work for me. She may be busy for another month or so. Don't try to call her. And she was like, well, okay, well, you just tell her to call me as soon as she gets home or whatever. And she was like, I have a question. When you were young, you and Dandy played together, right? And she was like, yeah. She's like, what did you think of me as a mother? I thought she was about to ask him, like, has he done anything or shown that he's going to be psycho? That's what I thought the bitch was going to say. But no. She asked him, was I a good mother? And she was just like, well, I don't really remember you being there. And she was like, oh, he had a fever one day and I didn't know what to do. And I just raised him how I was raised. And she started crying, I guess feeling bad for what she did. I'm just like, oh, okay, girl, well, if you blame yourself, you blame yourself. He's gonna be crazy either way you spend it. Where are we at? Last thing is, like, we'll revisit with the twins. Elsa, homegirl, brought those twins to the crazy mama and her son, and saying, I have something that you may want. Because you remember in the first episode, they were trying to offer like $15,000 for them twins. And now I guess she saw that the twins are about to be the ones to take off in her careers, especially when they found out they can sing.
Excuse me. Low battery.
Okay, I know. That's why I let you die. That's why I let the computer screen, because I'm going to plug you up when I finish here. Anyway, she brings them back to the motherfucking house, and I'm guessing she's going to try to get rid of their ass. And when you go back, it looks like when they were showing previews of next week or what's coming up in the show, everybody's like, bitch, if you got rid of those twins, or the bearded lady is the one who's saying this, if you got rid of those twins, bitch, I'm going to fuck you up my damn self. So Elsa's about to have trouble at home. We don't know what's about to happen to these twins. It's just getting good. The plot thickens. Okay, but woo, there was so much happening in this episode, and it's getting good. We started to see a lot of recurring people come and do, their own thing. Whew. I'm excited. I'm enjoying this. So I'm glad to be back, y'all. I'm gonna try to get back in this whole swing of things. I know I say that over and over again, but stuff always happens. But I try. I do try. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure if it's the first time you see me, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And if you're already subscribed to the channel and you have a Twitter, make sure you share this video so somebody else can get their life as well. All right, thank you guys so much for watching and supporting, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh, I'm not doing Bad Girls Club this week. The episode was shitty. I don't know if I said that at the beginning of this recording anytime, but yeah, the episode really there wasn't much to talk about, so don't look for that video. I should do it next week. Next week, look like it's going to be good. But thanks, God. Let me turn this camera off, y'all. Bye. See ya.
Like, share, subscribe.
Washington.